Everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is called Your Superpower in 2025. And I'm really excited to report out for you guys for 2025. And the superpowers that we have to choose from are very cool and interesting and unique indeed. And we will be going through each pile here. We have 4 piles to choose from. And for pile number 1, we have Archangel Michael. Okay, the pink card you see here is the superpower associated with the pile. But if you're feeling Archangel Michael, you'll choose pile number 1. For pile number 2, we have Mary Magdalene. Okay, if you're feeling the energy of Mary Magdalene, you'll choose pile number 2. For pile number 3, we have Odin. If you're feeling the energy of Odin, you will choose pile number 3. And for pile number 4, we have Kali Ma, the goddess Kali Ma. If you are feeling pile number 4, you'll choose that. So that is what I have for you guys today, 4 piles to choose from. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome. Check out my playlist. I have a ton of stuff. I am an astrologer. I do natal chart readings, and I also do personal private tarot readings, and all the details that you would ever want for how to receive or book a reading are in the description box below. So please check that out if you're into that and you feel like a reading would be a great way to start out 2025. So we are going to go ahead and get into the energy. I'm going to put the other piles aside, and you can go directly to the description box below to find your pile. And you may feel like watching more than one pile today, and that is totally fine. Normally I do 3 piles, but today we are going to have 4 wonderful piles to choose from, okay? And I've placed the goddess Diana right in front of me here to make this a really focused reading for us. And she is coming through on this card as the goddess of focused intention. So focused intentions and superpowers for 2025. 2025 is going to be a really unique year. For those of you that are interested in an astrological forecast for 2025, I do have that saved in my playlist under astrology forecasts. I did a whole forecast on 2025. So check that out if you're interested in that. And let's go ahead and get into your reading. One last thing, if you're interested, you can also follow me on social media at Blue Sky under Natalie H Astrologer. So thank you, or Natalie H Astrology, if you want to find me on Blue Sky. So thank you so much, and let's go ahead and get into the reading. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose Archangel Michael for your 2025 superpower, and today's reading, we're going to be finding out more details about your 2025 and how you will be working in your energy in 2025. Now, every single pile has a superpower associated with it, and yours is right here. And it's either going to be air, fire, earth, or water related superpowers. Okay, so drum roll, please, for pile number 1. Let's go ahead and see your superpower for 2025. Ooh, pile number 1, we have the powers of earth and superhuman strength. Okay, so think of like Superman, the Incredible Hulk. Think of that as your superpower for 2025. And the powers of earth is the power to exert force, to be physically strong with lots of energy, and to exert your will in all your quests. The powers of earth will aid you in all of your quests and pursuits of goals in 2025. If you've had a problem in the past with not being able to stay consistent or not being able to stay on track or missing the mark when it comes to your goals or what you're trying to pursue, get ready for a lot of follow through and a lot of confidence and impressive strength that comes from that confidence, okay? The impressive strength to power through to get what you're looking for. And the powers of earth has to do with efficiency, the ability to be long lasting in what you're doing. So when you succeed in 2025, it's not going to be just a drop in the bucket. It's going to be something that is very long lasting. The ability to be goal oriented, to break chains and limitations of the past, that in the past maybe was a hard time for you to stick it out or push through limitations. Also, powers of earth has to do with amazing health and fitness, anti-aging, and immortal qualities. Okay, so for those of you that have been feeling kind of like low energy, or health and fitness hasn't really been a priority, there's like a lot of strength and power for you with amazing health and fitness benefits in 2025. The ability to be focused, realistic, and practical in everything you do makes you determined during the entire year, and others admire you for your success. Okay, so I love that energy of you rule in 2025, pile number 1, and it is because of the powers of earth. Okay, so we're going to get into more detail here and find out how exactly is this impressive strength, superhuman strength, and the ability to power through all obstacles and limitations with amazing health and fitness. How is this going to materialize for you? Pile number 1. I have a feeling with Archangel Michael, it starts with trusting your voice and being really solid in your opinions. Oh yeah, we have 3 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. People truly celebrating your success and being really happy for you. Pile number 1, after all these years of hard work, you're finally breaking through, okay? And we have the 5 of Pentacles. This is where in the past we felt very alone. We have felt very like neglected or discarded. And probably too with the 5 of Pentacles, there was a period of not having very good health, and that may be limiting your social life or limiting the things that you could do or places you could go. Okay, and perhaps, you know, I do feel 2025 is about finding emotional strength within yourself, whether you are with other people or not. Now, I do feel people are going to be celebrating you, and 3 of Cups is a really good sign for friendships that feel supportive. Okay, but if you've been feeling emotionally like alone, or feeling discarded, or feeling lonely emotionally, I feel like, you know, really putting emphasis on being around groups of people where you truly get under each other, you truly understand each other, and you truly see the best in one another will be very helpful to kind of get rid of some of those, not get rid of the feeling of feeling alone, because sometimes we have to be alone in order to really focus on what we're trying to pursue. You know, so let's see what else we have here. We have strategy. Yeah, you need a step-by-step plan of attack to reach the next level. And that step-by-step strategy is something, get the advice of someone who is already where you want to go. Okay. And maybe it is important to kind of come out of your shell a little bit and talk to more people so that you can get that step-by-step plan of execution or plan of attack. And I also gave every pile a specific month that is going to be really, really important for you, pile number 1. And the month in 2025 that is crucial and key for you is October. Okay, so October really coming through here, and we'll see what else comes up. So keep October in mind. By the month of October, we definitely want a key strategy in place for executing what we're trying to do. I feel like by the month of October, it's key that that strategy be implemented and running. We have Ghost here under feeling alone. Okay, and I feel like some of you have superhuman emotional strength, like you've had to do a lot of things on your own in life, and maybe there's been fear in that, or there's been a period of feeling afraid to be alone. But the powers of earth allow us to focus, ground our energy, and come up with a strategy for how to proceed. We have waning moon and recover. Okay. And this is where, we can have some things happen where we feel like, you know what, I need to take a step back and gather myself before I really come up with what I want to do here. I also feel like the month of May is very important as well. And it may be a month where you're feeling drained or lower energy or feeling alone, pile number one, but there is a purpose to that. It's to help you focus on it's there to help you bring into focus what needs to happen for you in the month of October. Okay. And so if there are points in the year that feel difficult because you're feeling alone, or you're feeling like people are not really there for you, it's because there needs to be more focus and efficiency around what you're doing. Now, in the past, sometimes like we feel like we can't really do something until we feel like everything and everyone in our life is on board with it, right? Like our friends think it's a good idea, our family supports us, right? But truly, truly strong people don't need the like input of everyone else all the time to feel like they're doing the right thing. Okay. Now, it's not to say that advice can't be helpful strategy wise, but there is like a certain strength and hardcore realism in going at something alone, um, while you like really commit to the strategy that you're working on. Pile number one, we have the 8th house here. Okay. And the 8th house, of course, has to do with money, debts, investments, mysteries, secrets. Okay. And, the 8th house is where we really get to the bottom of some of our emotional difficulties. And maybe there is some emotional difficulties around intimacy that you feel have been plaguing you for a long time, pile number one. Okay. And you're maybe have been afraid of intimacy or afraid of, the 8th house is also having to do with sex and eroticism and sexuality. And where we can fall into obsession over things. Okay. And it's like I feel alone, but I also need to, like not prioritize like romantic relationships as much, or I need to focus more on myself and sustaining myself. Okay. So I think that's interesting there. We have Leo energy and the Lover. Okay. Now, something interesting could be happening for you guys between the month of May and the month of August, which would take us into Leo season. Okay. And some of you may have like hidden creative talents that you normally don't let other people see, those hidden creative talents. Okay. Some of you could have Sun in the 8th house or Leo ruling your 8th house, and you don't always, like there's a part of yourself that you tend to keep secret, I feel like, or hidden from others. But it could be the part of yourself that is very like creative, loving, playful, warm, okay, self-confident. And maybe some of that energy has been hidden in the past. Okay. But I feel like you guys are going to have the ability to, if you want, pile number one, to get really close to people in an intimate way in 2025, but it may not be something that you're totally comfortable with, or totally like totally comfortable with, pile number one. Okay. But I feel like your need to go really deep within yourself. Okay. Because Leo has to do with like ourself and our ability to be confident within self. Okay. And the ability to go really deep within yourself and pull out that creative self expression. I feel like you're going to be very proud of yourself, that even when you were scared to express yourself, or even when you felt like it wouldn't, people wouldn't show up or wouldn't be there, you went for it anyway. You faced your fears. Okay. And with the eighth house in Leo, there can be a fear of getting attention on ourselves. Okay. Or like we're afraid because it makes us more vulnerable that we're like getting attention. Okay. But I actually feel like you are getting attention for something in your life, and it brings a new sense of intimacy and depth that you haven't really felt before, pile number one. Okay. And that can be intimacy and depth with your work. It can be with a partner. Okay. It can be with creative ventures that you've always been scared to try or do, but you really need to, and for those of you that are taking time away from relationships to focus on yourself, the deep pouring of energy into something, maybe more into your creative projects, and being really proud of yourself, okay, for doing that. And maybe being extroverted has been kind of hard for you in the past. And trust has been a thing that has been very hard to overcome, okay, or to deal with. And I feel like you guys are going to be like seeing into other people's secrets really well in 2025, okay? And I feel like you're going to be able to read people really well in 2025, and then make the decisions that are best for you, is what I feel there. We have the communicator. Words have power. And you know what? That is so Archangel Michael, who holds the sword, and it says truthful. So these are some of your superpowers in 2025. The ability to be truthful, outspoken, flexible, clear, quick, relatable, friendly, intelligent, open-minded, intuitive, psychological, definitely with the eighth house, psychological for sure, an interest in psychology, discriminating, informed, and articulate, okay? And for those of you in the past who maybe felt like, well, what I have to say isn't important, or no one really listens to me, get ready, pile number one, because you are going to be communicating a lot. And I love her hair. Like the hair is very much on point in 2025. Okay. And wearing the color blue might make you feel very powerful. The color blue is oftentimes associated with Archangel Michael, but I love the hair. It's really poofy and bouncy and full of volume and wave. And I feel like you guys are really good at like calling out other people's secrets, and other people's secrets are really powerful. But I mean, at the same time, I feel like you guys are going to be careful with the way that you communicate things, because it's a part of your strategy. Okay. And, wearing like blue bracelet or blue rings, or the color blue, very powerful for you. Some of you are, and I'm catching the leaves at the back of her dress here, and it's telling me about October and the month of fall. Some of you may have a very important thing that you need to communicate in the month of October. Like you're picked to speak about something, or you need to really communicate where you're coming from and your strategic alignment with something in a very powerful way, in a very grounded way, because this is the powers of earth, right? And, you know, having the efficiency, goal-oriented qualities that are very realistic and practical are going to be super helpful as you communicate something very important during the month of October, okay? And this is where we want to become really strong. Even business-wise, we want to become really strong with communication and explaining a strategy. I feel that you guys are going to need to be good at doing, or convincing someone of something, okay? And there may be a period, like I said, with this ghost and recovery where, you know, from the month of May to the month of August, you know, you're alone or you're with a partner, but sometimes you're with them and sometimes you're not. And you have time on your own to basically practice what's coming ahead, okay? And practicing and preparing for what's ahead and for a message that you need to give is going to be very important, okay? And I feel like by the time you give a speech on something, or by the time you speak on it, you could almost do it in your sleep. You're so good at it, you could almost like really just do it in your sleep. We have harmony. Yeah, as I create, I will share. Okay. And this is very good because in the past, maybe it was hard to share what you created. Okay. And I feel like you're kind of coming out of the dark in 2025 to share, like, and maybe it felt like, well, if I share a lot about myself, I feel like I'm being egotistical, or I feel like I'm being, you know, too like proud of myself. And it's like, no, you can definitely, you should definitely feel proud of yourself. Okay. And this is card number 27. As I create, I will share harmony divine with love and care. Okay. And, you know, finding harmony in your communications and being good with what you're saying. And because I feel like there's so many butterflies here, I feel like you guys are definitely going to be bringing a message of change. And, you know, in order to, like, people sometimes are very afraid of change. Okay, the 8th house, what we're afraid of, being afraid of change. Okay, but I feel like you're speaking about a major change in October, pile number 1, all right? And, you know, finding harmony in that, finding balance in that, super important. Also the month of October associated with Libra and harmony, okay? And then we have here, the sky's the limit. Yeah, pile number 1. And look at the lovely structure that's been built. Okay, it says the sky's the limit, which is very Archangel Michael, bringing through that air energy into your powers of earth reading. And also I feel like harmony is going to, like, physically come through eating the right foods. You can see here, like, looks like she's making something to, like, a certain type of food that's going to help power your digestion, pile number 1, or is going to help power your energy levels. I just have to say that there too. You know, with the 8th house and Leo here, that's a very sexy energy. So if you're used to feeling alone or ghosted or not feeling your full sexual power, I feel like you are going to start feeling a lot of sexual power, particularly, like, you know, as we start getting into, like, the month of August, September, October. So it's up to you what you want to do with that, pile number 1, but I do feel like you're feeling really sexy and you're feeling really powerful, and you've taken the time to rest and you've taken the time on your own to chill. So it's like you kind of come out of the dark, like, really shining. brightly, and actually you feel very sexy to me, pile number one. I hope you don't mind me saying that, but you seem very sexy to me, pile number one, in 2025. And those feelings may not start hitting, like I said, until like July, August, until we kind of like get into Leo season. But what's hidden comes to the surface, and you're the one that is, making the rules or telling someone off, even if you need to, okay? And if you need to defend your strategy or your position, I feel like you do it in a way that is very successful, okay? And we have the sky's the limit. Anything is possible. There are no limits, which I love because I wrote on your guys' card, breaking chains and limitations of the past. And actually, that's amazing. It says there are no limits. So that is really good. Now, when there are no limits to like our power and our ability to like manifest and things like that, things can get kind of hectic, all right? Things can get kind of wild, all right? Things can get sexually wild as well, too. Anything is possible. Let's try anything. Let's do anything. Let's go there. Let's be creative. Let's get into it. Okay. But finding where like the harmony is there for you in that, either through like alone time, like I'm actually needing alone time to emotionally heal versus I'm feeling really sexy and I'm feeling like, this could be something hot. Okay, I feel hot, I feel sexy, I feel like I want to let, this lion roar. All right, and I would say take really good care of your hair during 2025 as well. Or, your hair looking nice is like a big part of you feeling kind of sexy and delicious, is what I kind of feel, pile number one. So, that's just a little bit of advice there. But Spirit is saying the sky's the limit. Build the structure and they will come. Anything is possible. There are no limits. Okay. So pile number one, that is what I am getting for you about your powers in 2025. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Let me know how that resonated for you, if you can feel that energy starting to come on already. And let's move on to pile number two. Okay. Get pile number two going here. Pile number two, welcome to your reading. You chose Mary Magdalene and the Teacher Awakens. Okay, so welcome to your reading, pile number two. We've got 4 superpowers to choose from: air, fire, earth, or water. So we are going to see what is your superpower for 2025. Drum roll, please, for pile number two. Let's see your superpower. Ooh, we have the powers of water. And I love that because your guys' power, your main power is shape shifting and water manipulation in 2025. And shape shifting is the power to alter one's form and appearance, to change your look and disguise yourself. Some of you may be changing your appearance in 2025. You may be changing your look, or your physicality may be changing in some way. All right. And water manipulation and shape-shifting in particular allows us to familiarize with new environments and new experiences and new perspectives easily. So like the ability to flow into new experiences is definitely like a sense of shape shifting. The ability to be fluid in your expression, in what you're doing, to be adaptable, and to be imaginative. And some of you may have quite a fluid identity in 2025, like I'm trying on different identities. I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. And you're able to learn really quickly with this Mary Magdalene energy and the Teacher Awakens being in different environments is actually really good for you. Trying new things, being adaptable, and being super imaginative is great. And if you have felt like very stuck in the same look, or stuck in the same environment, or bored, or just creative blocks coming up, I feel like the powers of water really help you to make some dramatic changes in 2025. Now, shape shifting is a power that can come from the struggles to fit in, where we shape shift to kind of fit in because we feel like we don't really belong anywhere. And so, for those of you that have struggled to fit in a lot in your life, the powers of water and the ability to shapeshift are actually probably a power that you have, but maybe it's been unpredictable or hard to use in the past. So, gaining some control over that shapeshifting quality allows you to keep the people that would try to take you down are going to become very unbalanced, because you're very hard to defeat in 2025, and you have the ability to deceive the deceivers, okay? And the ability to heal yourself and form new constructs and imagine new worlds and find recovery and peace and calm in a protective bubble for yourself and those that you care about. Okay, and emotions can be very motivating and cause us to make dramatic changes in our life. And, water also has a very amazing healing property. You notice, like, when we're having physical issues, people always say, like, drink more water. Like, water is kind of like the balm that sort of like cures everything. And so water is also associated with healers. And perhaps some of you are getting familiar with new environments in 2025. You're wanting to change how you look. You want to work on healing yourself. You want to find a place of peace and calm and a protective bubble, but you also want the ability to be like mutable and deceive people that are trying to deceive you. For those of you, but some of you that are kind of more on the naughty side, okay? Anyway, like, you can deceive the deceivers because you're very unpredictable when you have the ability to shapeshift and do water manipulation. So you may also be able to manipulate people's emotions if you want as well, pile number 2 in 2025. So let's see what else. We have the 6 of Wands, believe and succeed. We have long-term, okay? You'll be asked to commit to a position for long-term, either a long-term position for those of you that have been waiting for a more long-term position to come up when it comes to work or relationships. There's also rings here. Okay, some of you may be getting into new relationships or to more long-term positions at your job. Okay, or a job that is more long-term. Let's go ahead and take a look. Every pile got a month that is going to be very key for them. So let's see what your month is. Your month is the month of September. Okay, so September, I feel like, is a month where you need to make some decisions. And this is a month where things that seemed more fluid and short-term have the ability to become long-term. And look at the water in the background there. Look at the water. And feeling like settled with something or feeling good about something. But I honestly also feel some of you could start to question something that you've been doing for a long time in the month of September. You're like, do I want this anymore? Or do I want to try something different? Okay, so I'm kind of feeling that unpredictable energy. Now, it's interesting because in the month of September, Uranus is going to retrograde for the first time in Gemini, and we're going to be having eclipses as well in Virgo and Pisces in September. So September's already going to be like a crazy, whack, funky kind of a month anyway. But I feel like it's where you guys are looking at a choice in your life and you're like, I don't know. Like, this thing is actually good and it's brought me success. Or at one point, I thought this was a thing that I was going to be really like long-term involved in. And now I'm actually starting to question something. I don't know. I need to think about it. I need to think if this is something that I want to continue going forward. Okay. And yeah, so that's interesting. We have intuition, definitely superpower in 2025 when we talk about water and imagination and healing and creating new worlds. Like, I feel your vision is like aligning with another's vision, and it's like boom, we just kind of get each other. I kind of feel 2025 pile number 2, something about your intuition is clicking into place. Okay, it's like the puzzle clicks into place and you get it. Okay. For those of you that have been working on your intuition or wanting dramatic changes when it comes to your intuition, I feel like, yeah. And I feel like you can sense that something is going to be successful. And it is pile number 2. And it is. We have here, we have a theme and we have detach. Okay. So this is a knife. Now, this is a knife that is used in magical clearing. Okay. And if your intuition is telling you, I feel some of you are detaching from a long-term relationship in the month of September, or you're starting to think about it in the month of September. I don't know if you guys just heard my timer on my clock all of a sudden just beeped right when it did it again, right when I said that. And basically I kind of feel like time's up on something. Now, this is going to get annoying because I'm going to have to take the battery out because the battery is dead. But you guys heard that beep. Time's up on something. Your intuition is telling you, I need to, I don't know. Your intuition's saying, I don't know if I'm happy in this anymore. My intuition is telling me to go. My intuition is telling me to look for something better. My intuition is telling me the grass is greener. Okay. And, you're really keeping people guessing here. Pile number 2 in 2025. We have Saturn. Okay. We have structure, time, responsibilities. Okay. Grounding, practicality, self-control. Okay. Maturity, emotional maturity with the powers of water. And Saturn in Pisces. Now, we are going to have Saturn in Pisces in the water sign Pisces, multiple hits of it in 2025. Yes, we're going to have Saturn in Aries for a couple of months, but Saturn's going to retrograde back into Pisces later in the year. I think it's actually October that Saturn falls back into Pisces. Okay. So again, this kind of feels like a consequence of what you started feeling in the month of September. And something may be telling you it's time to have more like emotional boundaries with certain people in your life, or that things that that on the surface maybe have been okay, but underneath it you've been kind of wrestling with and unhappy with for a while, need to change. Okay. And your intuition is telling you to take your time in deciding something. And here's the thing. I feel like you are kind of like going back and forth. Okay. And here's some advice I'm going to give you, pile number 2. When you have an important decision come up, live your life for a few days as if you have already made that decision and see how you feel. And then the next few days after that, live your life like you didn't make that decision and see how you feel. Okay. And give yourself enough time to really before you detach, give yourself enough time to really think about what you want to do here. Okay. And, you know, September may be a time where things are feeling a little bit difficult because your intuition is saying, yeah, it is time for it's time for something better. I need something, like, either you could be contemplating leaving a long-term relationship, or it's not becoming long-term because of certain limitations, and so it's time that I go. But I feel like with this boat, like sailing on over the water here, and I love this imagery because we are talking about the powers of water, and your ability to like see the light ahead, and your ability to take the journey. Okay. And that could be based on, you know, I'm not happy in here anymore. My intuition's telling me it's time to go. And once you go, you set sail on this really inspiring and imaginative journey that feels like it's opening you to the light. I feel like pile number 2. Now, for some of you, Saturn and Aries, or Saturn and Pisces may have been very difficult for you. We've had Saturn in Pisces since March of 2023. So perhaps some of you are like, oh my God, I'm just waiting for Saturn to leave Pisces, okay? And your intuition's telling you, you know, things are going to get better emotionally. And I agree, they are. Pile number 2, we have Aquarius energy and innovator, okay? And I love this because it says experimental and unique. And I feel like you guys are wanting to bring, with shape-shifting, you're wanting to bring more like freedom, eccentric, diverse, different energy, okay? And again, here's the word detach. It's on this card here with the knife, and it's also here, detach, okay? And, you know, I feel like you are detaching from certain relationships. Look at the point of the knife is pointed up at that ring, okay? And, yeah, it's maybe some of you have wanted to detach from a certain relationship in your life for a long time, whether that's romantic or a family relationship, but you felt guilty or bad about it. I see you like breaking free from that emotionally, and I see you becoming more unhinged in 2025. And I love this picture because it's like pow. And she's wearing her sunglasses and she's like, I don't give a fuck, you know? And she looks like she's like, yeah, I caused that. It's not that you don't care. I feel you understand the gravity of a situation, like you really do, but you're so like tired of it in a way. You're ready to shake things up, I feel like, okay? And you know, some of you may need to be letting other people down in a gentle way in 2025, so that you can sail on to more, like, it's like your intuition is telling you, I need more freedom. I need more time for myself. I need to be like experimental, disruptive, and edgy. And some of these situations are not really fluid enough to really allow me to express that energy. So I'm just gonna like go do something else, is what I kind of feel here. Okay. And we have the Advocate and Saturn. Yeah, Saturn is actually coming up twice in your guys' reading. Okay. Double Saturn. But Saturn allows us to find the time and the responsibility to maturely approach certain changes that need to be made in our life, okay? And, you know, Saturn, it says here, I align with the greater good for all, okay? And it talks about humanitarian energy, especially for Aquarius, can also be very humanitarian and futuristic. And, Yeah, I mean, interesting because it says humanitarian here too. Resourceful, resilient, outspoken, rebellious, okay? Very rebellious. And the ability to change your form and be in multiple different environments is definitely a superpower, okay? And champion, okay, rebellious and a champion for people who don't fit in or are very unique and don't feel like they belong. I feel like you are a champion for that, supportive, compassionate, democratic, passionate, driven, and devoted. Okay. And yeah, I feel like you are very much an advocate and an innovator in 2025. And I feel like you are getting really good at cutting away things that have been holding you back emotionally. Okay. And things that you wouldn't have been able to do in the past because you felt guilty or you felt bad, I feel like you're actually able to do. Okay. And, you know, when we talk about like the protective energy, I feel like you guys are very protective of others in 2025. Okay. There's some important lessons for you to learn in 2025. And it's not all easy, but I feel like you are very much like moving towards success with the Six of Wands here. And your intuition is telling you that your unique perspective on something is going to be very successful, and it is, okay? And with so much Saturn energy, there is a need to also be able to look at the bright side of things or to not fall prey to, like, you know, only looking at the negative side of things. And I feel like, you know, you are very emotionally resilient and you help others see the bright side of things. I feel pile number 2. We have prosperity. I love that. And, you know, certain things that you are cutting out of your life because they don't feel like they're adding to your ability to prosper, okay? But I feel like there are some important decisions in the month of September regarding your finances, pile number 2, that are coming up here as well. But it says, as this tree grows so strong, so fine, so may I prosper from the universal divine. So even though times for people are tough and there's a need to come up with innovative solutions, I feel like you find a way to prosper, okay? And to succeed. Pile number 2. And keep them guessing, pile number 2. We have familiars. You are, oh yeah, and I kept talking about peace and calm and having a protective bubble. And now we have this familiars card and it says you are being protected by pets and animals. Oh, that is cute, isn't it? For those of you that are, some of you may be getting a pet in 2025, or you may be getting another pet or getting closer to your pet. I know my boyfriend keeps talking about getting a parrot, and that's so funny to me, but some of you may be getting a cool new pet, or picking out a dog or a cat that you really like or love, or you're getting like closer to your pets that you have, okay? You are being protected by pets and animals, okay? And I feel you have a very protective energy as well towards others during 2025 too. But I also feel like even though you have the power of water and shape-shifting, you have the ability to be detached and to not like fall prey to people's like emotional manipulations and guilting and trying to guilt you to like stick around. I also feel some of you could be volunteering in different environments in 2025. For those of you that get involved with the LGBTQ community, or, you know, like Big Brother, Big Sister, or, you know, I do feel like there is an energy of advocating for something. Okay. Some of you could be getting into like political activism in some way. I feel that energy coming through. Okay. Um, but I feel like you are very, I mean, I feel like 2025 could be a year that you change a lot and you actually kind of get radicalized in some ways. Pile number two, with this Aquarius energy here, and your intuition could already be telling you it's going to be like a pretty feisty year of around what people believe and what they are like willing to put up with around them. And some people that have just been like taking your presence for granted, or taking the work that you've been doing or the sacrifices that you've been making for granted, I feel some of those people may be cut out of your life in 2025. Okay. And I feel you have a very unpredictable energy in 2025, pile number two, but you do it in a way that's very responsible and mature. Okay, with all this Saturn energy coming up, you do it in a way that is very responsible and mature and aligns with your principles, and, you know, holding others to responsibility to the things that they've said and done. You know, water is the memory function. And, you know, like, I feel you guys are going to have a very good memory in 2025. Like, oh, you said this, but that you didn't actually follow through with that. Some of you may be like really calling people out on walking the talk and talking the, you know, doing what they say they're going to do. And having a really good memory about who was there and who wasn't there, I feel like is something that is going on as well. And I feel some of you, you know, really being successful and prosperous in 2025, but there may be periods where you feel like, oh, you know, I'm a little nervous about money, or I'm a little nervous about my abundance, especially, you know, with the whole Saturn and Pisces stuff going on. But I feel like, you know, your Saturnian discipline gets you through those periods. And actually, some of you may find that you need to save money or you need to cut back on expenses, but it actually helps you like grow your savings, which is something that is really good as well. So pile number two, that is what I am getting for you, my loves. And, you know, a lot of people getting their karma in 2025, pile number two, but I feel like karma is something that is on your side in 2025. So thank you so much, pile number two. Wishing you the very best and take care, my loves. Let's move on to pile number three. Okay. Pile number three, welcome to your reading. You chose Odin, and today's reading is your superpower in 2025. Okay, and everybody is getting either air, fire, earth, or water. So let's do a drum roll, please, for pile number three and see what is their superpower in 2025. Ooh, pile number three. I had a feeling. Okay, you guys got the powers of fire. Okay, and I wrote you guys, well, this is from Marvel. Okay, this is from like Marvel comics, but I wrote something here based on Marvel for you guys about the Human Torch. It says, I am the Human Torch. I am the flame, and the nature of the flame is to rise. Push your powers to the limits. You won't bring me down a second time. Okay, and that's a quote from Marvel. And when we have the powers of fire, we have excitement and danger. We also have passion and inspiration. Flame, your powers of fire have to do with flame creation, fire breathing, speed. Fire is very quick. Flame throwing, and pyrokinesis, which is the ability to control fire with the mind. Okay. Fire never surrenders. Okay. Fire increases our energy and motivation. We have to maintain control over fire because fire can be very dangerous. So we have to know when to use it and when not to use it. But fire has the ability to exert influence over its surroundings, to not be afraid of its own abilities, okay, and to be assertive and go on the defensive or offensive if necessary, okay? So you are the human torch, pile number 3 in 2025. You are the human torch. You are the flame. And the nature of the flame is to rise, okay? As Maya Angelou would say, still I rise, right? Pile number 3. So let's go ahead. And I like this Odin card because I feel like the flame is like the fire and the smoke is like in the background, okay? And everyone is like kind of like dispersing from it, okay? And it says here, your third eye is open, see truth for what it is, follow your intuition, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got going on here. 7 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, and this can be where we felt like very cramped, okay? I feel like in 2025, living situations that are very cramped, work situations that are very cramped, you know, having your space like cramped is going to like cause you to rise out and break free. So for those of you that are like, I don't like my living situation, I want to go, or it is too cramped, or there's not enough space for me, or I'm sick of feeling like there's not enough space for me and I just want freedom to do my flame throwing and my fire breathing, okay? And I feel like, you know, working on the structures that allow you to have that is something that is good in 2025. Let's look at your cards here. We've got detach, which is the justice card, okay? And this is where we're not that excited to let something go, but we know if we want to come out of a frozen period in our life, it is time to let that thing go. It could be the thing that we've been stubbornly hanging on to that's kind of like cramping our style, okay? We've got saving face, okay? And this can be where we have to grin and bear it to get to the position that we want, or we feel like we're having to. This could be like where if you guys are coming into 2025 feeling like, I freaking hate my life, I feel dead on the inside, I feel like every day all I do is put on a mask and pretend to care, and I really don't give a shit anymore, and I'm kind of pissed off that I have to exist in this reality anyway. I'm kind of feeling burdened and tired, and especially for those of you that get real pissed off during winter, okay? And, you know, I'm sick and tired of this job. I'm sick and tired that I need this for my income and of acting like I feel like in order to participate, I have to put on a false mask and I'm tired of it, okay? So for those of you that are coming into this reading from that perspective, I feel like, yeah, there is, you know, with fire, there is an anger underneath all of that where it's like, I just want to tell these people to frickin' shove it. I want to tell this job to shove it. I want to tell these people off so damn bad, but I need the money. Or, you know, this type of thing I feel like is coming up in your reading. And there may also be going into 2025, like situations that it's time to let them go because they're cramping your style. And that energy of being cramped in, or um choosing like the path that is least exciting, but feeling like you're having to fake it the entire way, and being like really bored and tired of it, I feel like is the energy that's going to ignite you in 2025 to say, you know what? Fuck this, pile number 3. Okay. Now, everybody is getting a month of the year that is highly important for them to pay attention to. And that is a big time where things are happening for them. Your guys' month is the month of August. Okay. Now, August is Leo time, which is fire city. Okay. But it's also the end of August is Virgo time. So the month of August is highly, highly important for you guys. Okay. And I feel like the winter, maybe it feels like the winter sucks a little bit, and summertime is actually, for those of you that are planning to take a vacation in August, or you're planning to like do something fun in the month of August, yeah, that may be the time to like plan something fun or do something fun or save for that moment. Okay, we have stop. All right. And that's interesting. All right. Um, some of you could be making a major choice about where you want to live in the month of August as well. Deciding, I need to live someplace warmer. I cannot go through another winter. This winter is fucking miserable and I hate it. Okay. And, kind of like really focusing on what we hate or what isn't fair. I feel like Spirit is kind of telling you guys to maybe stop that for a while because it's kind of killing the fun or killing the vibe. And I know that can be hard when we're in a mood, pile number 3. But Spirit is like, before you totally let something go and leave, stop and consider the outcome, because fire can also make us very like, passionate and excited and like going balls to the wall. And it's like, okay, we got to stop and think before we decide to do something. Okay. Which I feel you guys are going to do. But at the same time, like, yeah, if I stop and think about it, it doesn't change things. I'm still miserable. I still don't want to be in this situation anymore. Okay. So I feel like the month of August could be a very pivotal moment for you guys where it's like, okay, now I really need to, if I am going to go or move or do something different, like that's the month to do it. We have Moonstone and Sacred. Okay. And there we go. We don't want to, with the powers of fire, we're not going to destroy what's sacred to us, okay? We're not going to continue to ignore what is sacred to us either, okay? There may be a need to detach from other people's opinions or to admit that emotionally this is not working, I'm not happy here, and I want to be someplace warmer, nicer, better for myself, okay? And we have Chiron and healing, okay? The healing powers, the need to release self-doubt, okay? Sensitivity with the moon and Chiron, there can be like a lot of sensitivity, a lot of crying, a lot of healing, a lot of, painful feelings that are coming up, okay? But I kind of feel like you guys are deciding 2025, like for those of you that have been sad for a really long time, and been looking for like certain things that can be very healing before you move on and do something better for yourself. I feel like you guys are kind of saying, I'm done. Okay. I am done. Like, I'm never going to be, and that's so true with life, pile number 3. It's like sometimes we just have to move forward in the moment because we're going to be healing something our whole life, or we're going to be working on sacred healing our entire life, but it doesn't need to stop us from creating the life that we want now, you know? And so I feel like something snaps in you in 2025 and you're like, I've been grieving this particular issue for such a long time. I'm ready to be done with it. I'm ready to go towards something that feels like better, is what I feel. Okay. And we have the second house of money, material possessions, finance, okay, worthiness, wardrobe, luxuries, credit score, security. All right. And for some of you, like, maybe you haven't wanted to let go of something because it's really sacred to you, but it is time to let go of it because you need the money. Okay. Um, so that is interesting. This year is really highlighting your money and your ability to create security where you are at. Okay. And I feel like, as far as like getting really bogged down with guilt and emotions and pain and suffering and all of that, I feel like, you guys are actually like detaching from something emotionally and moving on from it, which is really good. And for those of you that are wanting to make money from a healing venture that you have invested in, I feel like, and you feel like you haven't been able to make money from it, I feel like you do start to make money, okay? Some of you may be like going into 2025 thinking you need to give up your healing business, or for those of you that read tarot or do cards or do Reiki, I mean, any kind of healing, I feel like that, brings in revenue for you. I feel like some of you have been like stopping yourself from doing that. And you're realizing like I'm a lot happier when I have the ability to like help others. Okay. But some of you have maybe not been getting paid what you want to get paid, or you felt really bad asking for payment. Okay. So I feel like all of that is definitely coming into focus in 2025. We have the connector and Venus. Okay. And this is about you being connected to others in 2025. And superpower of fire is warmth. Okay. Fire can burn, connections can burn, but fire is also like connecting us through that experience of waking up and, you know, passion and desire and all of that. So Venus is really coming through for you guys. Now, Venus is going to be in Aries later in the year and 2025 in March and April. And Venus is going to be retrograding in Aries. And this could be a very powerful time of emotional healing for you, where you clear out a lot of past garbage, and it feels really good to let go of it. And I also feel like some of you could be connecting with new sources of income, I feel like, too, based on who you know and your social connections. Okay. And that's good news as well. And it says in 2025, your superpower with Venus is heart-centered, intimate, creative, communicative, diplomatic, devoted, harmonious, inspiring, accommodating, receptive, compassionate, and empathetic. And yeah, and I feel like for those of you that are looking for like a financial benefactor, or you're looking for to make money from your creative endeavors. Very, very, very good sign. Okay. And this talks about, this stop card, I feel like talks about the need to carefully weigh a decision before you make it. And I feel like, to stop and think before you make a decision. But I feel like the month of August is very healing for you guys. And for those of you that are taking vacations, like I said, or going somewhere, and some of you may be wondering, should I spend the money to go and do something that's really pleasurable and enjoyable? And I feel like the answer is yes. Yes, pile number 3. I feel like you've been through so much emotionally, and things have been miserable for a while, okay? And it's time to give yourself a break. It's time for you to take pleasure in some of the things that you've been working for. So if you have a chance to go on a trip or to take a vacation, I feel like the month of April could be big for that, or the month of August could be really big for that. Go for it. Pile number 3. Have fun. Enjoy. Okay. Take time to, maybe it's time for you to spend a little bit of money on yourself and doing something pleasurable that you are really going to enjoy. Okay. Maybe it's time to put that first for once, pile number 3, and do something that really brings you a lot of pleasure. Okay. And we have here courage. Oh my goodness, for fire. That is interesting. Okay. You guys have by shining, brave, and true and bright. And I love Venus because Venus is the brightest star in the sky. By shining, brave, and true and bright. My courage now returns this night. Okay. And maybe some of you are really wanting to spend some money to like upgrade your appearance, or you're wanting to do like a beauty treatment or a spa day. Freaking go for it, pile number 3. You're gonna feel like, I honestly feel, maybe don't do it during the Venus retrograde, which is from early March to mid-April, but like have fun. Okay. And this courage is like, I'm gonna do it anyway. And all of a sudden your courage really returns. And I love the lion on here because I feel like, you're very like confident in yourself. And I love the fox because you're very smart as well. Like you're really coming across socially, like you're really focused on your self-worth. And if there are areas that you want to improve, like self-improvement, physical self-improvement, emotional self-improvement, I feel like, yeah, you're doing it. Okay. And you're not getting stuck in spaces that feel very like cold, detached, and alone by yourself, painful. You're kind of getting out of that space and you're like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy my life more. I'm going to enjoy what life has to offer. Okay. And some of you may be meeting some people that are very good for your financial outlook as well. Connecting socially with people that have a very positive impact on your money. Okay. And like, I feel you guys having the courage to talk to people about your business ideas or the things that you're interested in. I feel there's a lot of emotional healing for you in 2025. Okay. And it's very much an internal journey. It's very sacred to you. Don't stop yourself, I guess, from going deep with it when it comes to your emotional healing. It's okay to invest some money in your emotional healing as well, but make sure you're doing some fun stuff that really allows you to, have some pleasure in your life. And I know you guys worry a lot about the people that you care about. I know that you are like always maybe not spending a lot on yourself because you worry about other people or what they may need, okay? But I feel like do something nice for yourself, pile number 3. Like, it is going to make you feel good. It is going to make you feel sexy. Some of you may be like getting a new face in 2025, or your face is looking different. Or you're doing skincare, or you're doing something to your face that actually makes you feel like really beautiful. Okay. Some of you may be considering some type of plastic surgery next year as well. I feel like, or spending money on your appearance, or you're like, I've always wanted to try that, but I wasn't too sure, okay, that I should. I'm worried about the pain, okay, associated with it. Some of you, again, the month of August, really stepping up to the plate with healing from something in the month of August, starting to feel better physically and emotionally. The courage to do something nice for yourself that makes you feel good about yourself is what I really see here. Pile number 3. And we have Leo energy. And I was talking about the lion, and then the month of August. Yeah, August is going to be big for you. And perhaps some of you have Leo in your chart, or you're meeting a Leo. Okay, but that we now have the word courage here twice. It's on this card and it's on this card here. So yeah, and Leo energy is very heart-centered and creative. And yeah, and spotlight on you, pile number 3. Okay, so if you are like, I feel like don't be scared to put your products out there. For those of you that have beauty products or you do art, like, I see you in the spotlight and making money from your art. You may not always be that comfortable in the spotlight and feel like when you're in the spotlight, you have to put on like a fake mask, or and I feel like what Spirit is kind of telling you, that feeling of, I have to put on a fake mask, or I can't really be myself, especially like at work, or especially like in my field, or I'm uncomfortable with the spotlight on me. Okay. I feel like spotlight on you, pile number 3, like fire is it's a very noticeable energy. And yeah, the spotlight is definitely on you. And, courageous, creative energy is definitely on your side. Staying home and crying in our Cheerios is no in 2025. Pile number 3, getting out there and connecting with new people and not being afraid to approach people. All of this is like your courage comes roaring back. And for some of you, this could start with the Venus retrograde that's happening next year in Aries, okay? Like, that could really kick off the energy for you. And as we get moving more even into the month of August, big moves are made, big things are happening. There's an emotional healing that takes place. If you've been feeling kind of alone or unable to be yourself, I feel like you're connecting with people in new ways. And the integrity that you feel around that is actually creating positive things in your world. And some of you may be spending a little bit of money on updating your wardrobe, or taking some time out for luxury, like I said. Okay. And I feel like you are very harmonious and creative and diplomatic and empathetic in 2025, but you're also like a lot less about the bullshit, I feel. Pile number 3 with the powers of fire. Yes, you are very Venusian, and some of you here may be artists and things like that. But like at the same time, I feel like you're realizing your power as well. Okay. And some of you here with Venus coming up, you may see yourself becoming more influential next year or becoming more of an influencer. And I do feel like the fire energy is making you more assertive about going after what you want and asking for what you want, is what I feel. Pile number 3. So use your fire to your advantage. Pile number 3, and let me know how that reading resonated for you. Wishing you the very best and take care. We are going to move on to pile number 4. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into it. Pile number 4, welcome to your reading. You chose Kali Ma, and today's reading is about finding your superpowers in 2025. So let's go ahead and get into it, my lovelies. Drum roll, please. Pile number 4, is it air, fire, earth, or water for pile number 4 for their superpower? Drum roll, please. Your guys' superpower is the power of air, pile number 4, okay? And some superpowers I wrote down for you are flying and telepathy and remote viewing, okay? With flying as a superpower, movement, freedom, and travel are super important. And when we're flying, we need to focus to maintain smoothness in the journey. We need to recharge after periods of being away from home. The power of air talks about freedom and mobility, the ability to bypass traffic and blocks easily. Okay, the powers of air give us perspective and exploration abilities. And when we talk about the powers of air, we can talk about projecting ourselves telepathically, the powers of projection, thought manipulation, brainiac energy, mechanical skills, and teaching. Okay, so those are some things for you coming across in pile number 4. And I love that you guys got Kali Ma, where it says facing fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. To soar. It actually says that, like the bird in the sky. This is your time to be a phoenix and to soar, okay? To face your fears and to, in that, allow yourself movement, freedom, travel, mobility, okay? All of that, pile number 4. So I'm loving that, my friends, for you. And we're going to get more detail here about your powers of air that you are working on developing and using in 2025. So let's see here for pile number, we've got the Page of Cups. Oh, I feel like you guys are funny. Pile number 4. You've got a good sense of humor in 2025. And maybe some of you here are used to more like you're very sensitive and you're very emotional, you're very deep, all of that. You're artistic or creative. Or you've been afraid of the sensitivity and the vulnerability or the showing of yourself, okay? But I kind of feel, what I feel most, pile number 4, is you guys having a really funny sense of humor, okay? So in 2025, I feel like you guys are going to be cracking people up, making people laugh, and helping people to smile. So good for you, pile number 4. We have the Fool energy and trust, okay? Especially for those of you that are like performers and things like that, the power of air is really, really with you. And also the Fool in the tarot represents the element of air, basically. So, I mean, that's powerful. That is really, really powerful. Freedom, travel, movement. It actually looks like she's flying in this picture. Can you see what looks like there's the breeze in the air and she's got her arms outstretched. And some things are kind of coming untied around her, but that's okay. Like she's leaning into it. It's like she can feel the breeze on her face, okay? And what she hears around her is everything new. New music, new clothes, new attire, new perspectives, new ways of being, new ways of thinking, and having a totally free and clear, being a free agent. I feel like pile number 4 is what you guys are able to do in 2025, is be a free agent. Oh my gosh, we have new life. I love it. You may get a fresh start or be called to bring a new perspective to your old job. You may also get a tempting job offer or new place. Oh my gosh. Pile number 4, new life and the Fool. Oh my gosh, so many new beginnings for you in 2025. That is exciting, pile number 4, okay? And your ability to do a trust fall and just go into it and be like, okay, this is new. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be funny. Let's go. Okay. And every pile got a month of the year that they should really be aware of, because there could be big changes or big things happening in that month. So pile number 4, your month is November of 2025. Okay, and I know for a fact there's going to be a Mercury retrograde in the month of November in Sagittarius back into Scorpio in 2025, and it's going to be opposite Uranus and with Mars. So, whoa, it's going to be a really intense Mercury retrograde next year. Lots of surprises, lots of things coming up, lots of unexpected things that are kind of coming up or landing on your lap, okay? And with Kali Ma, there may be something that you're a little bit afraid of in this, or because it talks about facing fear. And Kali Ma does have to do with death. You can see the skulls there in her heart. She is shining, I feel, but there is the ending of things going on as well. But it feels very exciting and it feels very colorful, pile number 4. So this is awesome. We have surrender. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what's going to happen from day to day to day. This is a brand new experience. I've never done this before. I am just going to lean into it. What else can I do? Okay, so good for you, pile number 4. We have moth and transformation. Yeah, and Kali is definitely the energy of transformation. Look, I cannot predict what is coming my way. Everything is changing, and I am just going to surrender to the fact that my life is different now. And I don't know what's going to happen next. Now, I can be in anxiety and stressed about it, or I can just go full balls to the wall, pile number 4, and embrace the changes that are coming in my life, because there is a major reset, pile number 4, okay? For you guys, a major, major reset there. We have Taurus energy. Interesting, because Uranus is in Taurus. So Uranus is in the very last degrees of Taurus for a lot of the year until it goes into Gemini and then retrogrades back into Taurus. So for those of you that have planets in the very late degrees of Taurus, welcome to your reading. The Tauruses are still getting hammered with changes, and we know how much Tauruses love change, right? Very, very little. And sometimes I think it's a challenging, like November is where we have Uranus back at the 29th degree of Taurus. Like it's pretty crazy, whack, funky, pile number 4, okay? And there's a need to stay grounded, right? Taurus is like the slow, immovable sign, and you guys have the powers of air. So if you have Taurus in your chart, or if you are like, you know, a practical earth sign, or have a lot of earth in your chart, and you're like, holy shit, like there's a lot of change coming my way and I'm kind of scared, okay? I don't blame you, pile number 4. I'm a Taurus myself, and Uranus and Taurus for the last, you know, since 2018 has been handing me my ass big time. So I would just say in the month of November, there is like, you know, a Mercury retrograde with Uranus opposite in Taurus. It's a time where, you know, things could go weirdly like out of plan. Like the plan isn't planning, okay? There's a lot of like unexpected shifts and changes and surprises. And it's like, oh, fuck, I just gotta go with it. I gotta lean into it. All right, I'm flying here. I'm flying blind, and I don't know what's coming next. And so I'm just going to roll with it. Okay. And, you know, Taurus energy, I really love, like, you know, fertile, pleasure seeking, tenacious, loyal, patient. Okay. But this can also be where plans are getting fucked up, and financial plans maybe kind of getting a little messed up in the month of November, or things that we like really plan for are kind of like happening in a different way, but nonetheless it's very beautiful and colorful in a lot of ways, okay? So yeah, and change can be hard, but change is where you're headed in 2025, okay? Pile number 4, that's where you headed, my friends. Yeah, Sagittarius. Now it's interesting because these two signs, Taurus and Sagittarius, they do not have a relationship in the zodiac, okay? Like Taurus, it makes an inconjunct or a quincunx to Sagittarius, which, you know, Taurus is about doing the same thing every day, keeping your feet on the ground, being predictable. Sagittarius energy is jumpy fire energy that likes to move around a lot and go many different places, okay? And for some of you, this could definitely be travel. Like you are traveling, going somewhere, becoming a digital nomad, or becoming nomadic, or just like going around. You can see the airplane there going somewhere, okay? Things are changing. And, you know, that November Sagittarius energy is going to be really wild. As I said, Mercury is going to be retrograding in Sagittarius back into Scorpio, Taurus's opposite sign. Okay, so I'm going to need Tauruses, Scorpios, and Sagittariuses to really take note, because, you know, Taurus is opposite to Scorpio, and Uranus is going to be in the last degree of Taurus as well. So all 3 that are watching this reading right now, Taurus, Sagittarius, and Scorpio, you're going to take a minute, my friends, take a minute and dial into the energy, because November is going to be coming in hot for you, okay? Expect disruptions, changes, but also expect freedom and mobility and travel, and like embracing a new chapter of your life that you couldn't even see coming if you fucking tried, okay? So pile number 4, really, really anchoring in to this energy and accepting the changes, okay? Like changes are coming, and risk taking is definitely like things are up in the air, and there is like this very adventurous vibe going on. But like the more practical, or the more I need my feet both on the ground type of yourself. I mean, people are afraid of heights, right? People can be afraid of airplanes and heights, but you guys have the power of air. So you're flying somewhere, you're going somewhere, You're teleporting yourself to a different world and you're learning a lot as a result. You're being exposed to a lot and learning a lot. I don't think it's going to be a boring year. I think it's going to be a real exciting year for you, pile number 4. And it's like, okay, how quickly can you get on board with the changes? Okay. And just go with it. We have the Sun King. Of course. Leo has been popping up all over every reading, so that is very interesting. It says, I powerfully lead my mission. Okay. And you know, air gives us perspective. And in this photo, the lion is looking out at everything. Okay. And some of you being put into leadership roles. Okay. But some of your keywords for the year are regal, powerful, passionate, courageous, sovereign, responsible, benevolent, creative, innovative, decisive, direct, inspiring, visionary, and respected. All right, they will be respecting your authority, pile number 4, in 2025. I will be respected. All right. And I powerfully lead my mission. Some days it feels like we're not really making a difference, or it's hard to get perspective and pull back from the minutia of what we're doing. And I feel like, you know, that is going to be really important for you guys to kind of pull back, to get perspective, and to kind of get out of the minutia, and get out of your routines, get out of the minutia to really take advantage of the energy that is there. And there's a lot of attention on you and your journey. I feel like your journey could be very inspiring to other people as well. Okay. And I feel some of you too, with the powers of air and the sun, I feel like, you know, becoming like a thought leader, or becoming, and for those of you where I put like brainiac energy, mechanical skills, teaching, some of you could be responsible for overseeing, or leading others when it comes to what they're learning and doing. Okay. So pile number 4, some of you may have like teacher energy going into 2025, especially with Sagittarius here. Some of you may be teaching or leading certain people when they are working through problems. Okay. We have justice. I love that. And that could be the sun in Libra with justice. Okay. For those of you coming here with Libra energy, by the power of 3, Mott, deliver justice to me. Okay. So, you know, I really do feel like October, November, December could be really big for you guys, particularly November. But yeah, working in justice, thought leaders, deciding what is fair, being the one who makes the respected decision, taking the time to make the call. Okay. I also feel like some of you may be distancing yourself from particular schools of thought in 2025 and really kind of doing your own thing is something that I am seeing here. And your sense of justice is very strong in 2025. For those of you that are having any, like, if you work in the legal area, or if you have any, if you know you have some court cases coming up in 2024 or 2025, I feel like you're going to be very successful. I feel like you are going to win those. Okay. For those of you that need to construct a legal argument around something, or you are involved in some type of legal profession, I feel like, wow, you are definitely shining. Okay. Pile number 4, and I feel like you are going to be very successful in killing the competition with your knowledge and your insights. Okay, so good for you, pile number 4. And we have the divine masculine. Interesting. Okay. And for those of you that are, interested in the divine masculine, or, I mean, the divine masculine is definitely sun energy, but this could be where you're really trusting your own decision making, or you're needing to trust your own decision making and take action on it in a way that you never have before. Okay. And to be really outspoken and firm in your opinions. Okay. I also feel like anybody, pile number 4, in 2025, any guy that comes around you that tries to mansplain to you or overtake the conversation is gonna get their tongue ripped out, okay? And I feel with the, I'm not trying to be whatever, but you have Kali Ma here, pile number 4. So Kali is not putting up with that. Now, if you've had divine masculine at the times who've tried to talk over you or tried to tell you what to do, or try to, push you into their viewpoint, nuh-uh. That is not happening in 2025. Okay, pile number 4, especially with the powers of air, your mind is very sharp in the upcoming year. You see right through things. And if somebody is trying to mansplain to you or overtake the conversation, you are definitely not gonna put up with that. Okay, pile number 4. So I just need you to know that, because that is not happening. Somebody's gonna go to the guillotine or the guillotine if they try to do that to you. All right. So I feel like your opinions, your thoughts, what's fair, how you rule on things, very important in 2025 to exercise your judgment and to not be afraid of doing that and to not be afraid of speaking up. Okay. Some of you could also be meeting a divine masculine who has a sun in Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. You could be meeting an air sign divine masculine who you go travel with, or who has a big impact on you. Okay. And I feel like you're willing to be fair and listen to people and give them a chance to speak their mind. But people who are constantly interrupting other people, or who are being very impolite in conversation, are definitely going to get the brunt end of the shoe from you in 2025. I feel pile number 4, because I feel like that is something you're not going to put up with. Okay. And I feel like your decision making and your voice is definitely strengthened in 2025. And things that maybe you were quiet about in the past or you didn't speak up about, I feel like, especially during the month of November, in the month of November, there could be, with that Mercury retrograde, with Mars opposite Uranus, there could be surprising disruptive fights, people talking over each other, people interrupting each other, things that come out of nowhere. But the good thing about having the power of air, pile number 4, is your ability to call a spade and to be 10 steps ahead of whatever is coming down the pipeline. Okay, so trust yourself and your ability, and don't let anybody back you into the corner because you're trying to keep the peace, but also don't let anybody ruffle your feathers to the point where you say something that you shouldn't say, right? So riding that line and keeping that balance is very important. And like I said, for those of you that have the potential to have a court case in 2025, or to, go, or maybe some of you are taking, going back to court, taking baby daddy back to court or something like that. I feel like you are going to kick ass. Okay. You're going to do really, really well. Pile number 4. Okay. And believe in yourself and your ability to, have to say the right thing at the right time, which causes justice to fall in your favor. So pile number 4, that is what I am getting for you, my loves. I hope that resonated. And I wish you all a very powerful and wonderful 2025. Take care.